Greetings, fellow Earthlings, and welcome to Tales from the Hoop, a podcast dedicated to diving into the weird, wild, and wacky stories from basketball history. I am your host, Ricky Freck, and today I'm telling a story about how one man almost changed basketball history forever to my brother.
Danger Dave.
Dave, before we start, did you know this is our 2 year anniversary podcast?
Oh my gosh, I had no idea. If
It's
you
because
would have asked me yesterday, I would have said 9 months.
9 months.
Yeah.
Wow, we've done above 50 of these things. But we're not
Golly, okay.
we're not quite every 2 weeks. I think we've done some extras, so we're above 52. But so let's,
Congratulations.
and our first episode was July 22nd, 2024.
Good Lord. That's
So,
crazy.
and thankfully for our 2 year anniversary, I have quite a doozy. Although I didn't know this until today when I just thought to look, and I was like, I think we're getting close to 2 years. But so this was not planned for
Okay.
that. It was written regardless of what
And we've
the
only gotten
introduction was.
worse. How does that work?
I think I've arguably, well, I don't know. We've gotten more weird because we have to dig deeper. I mean, I have still have like a list of 100 topics. So we could continue this podcast for probably
At
6 or 7 years easily.
yeah. Yeah, we're doing
I've
great.
considered pitching to do on the off weeks to watch a movie, a basketball movie, and then start rating the players as basketball players. But I don't know if the world is ready for that podcast yet.
I will say I remember like day one, I was like, man, I can't really write like Ricky does the episodes, but that one day I want to like do my version of an episode.
Uh-huh.
And then I would say about 9 months ago, I was like, okay, now's the time. Like I'm really, I think you made a joke about running out of material, and in my head, I committed to it.
Yeah.
And then like a week later, my wife was like, hey, I'm pregnant. I was like, oh, nothing exists anymore except, so my fault.
But
But
now you have plenty of time. Aren't you
I
on
know
father care? What's it called? Paternity
paternity
leave?
leave, one more week. So yeah, let me get
Only
as
w
much in.
You only have a month?
Yeah,
Wow.
I
That's
know.
wild.
Haters.
I don't think my employers will listen to this podcast, but I'm hoping I get fired soon because I would like a break from one of my 4 jobs. That would be great.
You could quiet quit
Oh,
like
I've been doing
heavily.
that. I've been
You could
doing that for a
loudly
year.
quit.
Um,
Uh,
but it is we don't want to talk about it here, but I'm hoping I have do not have a lot of free time these days because
hmm,
I'm working something. I mean, I'm probably working the same hours as a normal person, but they're so weird because I'm doing 4 different jobs and
hmm, for different
there's,
people.
yeah, like today I have
Yeah.
to, after this, I got to write for like 4 hours for one website. So my Sunday's shot.
Well, you're doing the
But
Lord's work. Everyone loves it.
the good news is those articles will be written while I'm drinking because yesterday we had a pool party and
Heck
I
yeah.
bought too much Modelo.
Nice. Congratulations.
All right, let's get this party started. On July 20th, 1970, Robert Earl Short was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Do you have any idea, any inkling of an idea of who Bob Short is?
You said he almost changed the game.
I didn't say he, I said someone in the story did. Said
Okay.
one man. I'm not, it could be him,
Yeah.
but I'm not
Yeah,
saying it
yeah,
was him.
yeah. Bob Short. No. No
Not a
idea.
good name for a basketball player, by the way.
Yeah,
Bob
I
Short.
know. Yeah. Really any like athletic competition, you
You
probably
could be good.
don't
You could
want
be a good
that.
soccer player. Messi's like 5'6".
But you still like are probably getting picked toward the end of the
Fair, fair.
line. So I don't know.
All right. So Bobby, his father grew up, or his father worked for the fire department, and his mom was a telephone operator. Growing up, the Irish Catholic family didn't have a ton of money, but Short was a good student and loved sports. Now, as far as I could tell, he wasn't very good at any of them,
Okay.
but he loved going to ball games. In fact, later in his life, Ted Williams told a story about how Bob Short came up to him and was like, "Hey, I used to go to your games when you played for the Minneapolis Muellers, I
The
believe is what the team was
Muellers.
called."
Yeah,
And
historic.
he had like a bunch of holes in his pockets and his pants because he was poor.
Oh,
But he
sad.
went and watched Ted Williams play.
Okay.
So he, as I said, he was a good student. So he went to the College of St. Thomas in St. Paul,
Hmm.
which is a confusing name for a
Yep.
college.
Don't love it, but hey, that's what you got to do up there.
And then he attended law school at the University of Minnesota and Fordham University.
Okay. That's
So he didn't,
that's good, right?
yeah, so far so good. So before he could finish his degree, he joined the Navy to serve during World War II.
I
You
don't know
have
if
a
I'd
look
leave
on your
Fordham
face.
to. join the Navy, but different
Well,
times.
I mean, it is different times, but I do think this probably happened right after Pearl Harbor, where like a lot of people were just like, I'm
Yeah.
signing up to go defend my country.
Yeah.
Couldn't be me. Wouldn't be me. I'm just kidding. I would do it probably if I was young.
Yeah,
At
right after
38,
the
at 38, I'm probably not doing that.
if I was in college during the opening of the Strait of Hormuz, yeah, I might.
But
Sorry.
oh my gosh. Oh, we're gonna hear
Anyways,
about that later. Okay, but so he joined the Navy, and he saw some action in the Pacific on the aircraft carrier the Intrepid, and earned the rank of commander.
hmm,
After the war, he was stationed as a legislative officer at the U.S. Naval Gun Factory in Washington, D.C., and there he met his future wife, Marion. Also, while he was there, Short finished his law degree, graduating from Georgetown University.
this guy rules. I'm
He got
I'm
married.
really confused on the basketball front, but we'll get there, I'm sure.
He got married. The couple moved back to Minnesota and had 7 children. Can you imagine?
No.
That would
One
be,
is horrible.
oh my gosh. Don't,
Joking. I'm
we could
joking.
never let your son listen to this
I'm
podcast.
joking.
Bob practiced law for several years and then started to become an investor.
Okay.
He bought a small stake in Mueller Transportation, a regional trucking line, and built it into a major carrier known as Admiral Merchants Motor Freight, which I guess
How fun.
I'll have to ask our dad if he knows of that company at all. But
I guarantee he's got way too much knowledge about them.
well, this would have been in like the 50s, so maybe not.
I don't
I
know.
don't know if it was I mean, I think it was still around, but I'm not sure.
Depending on how big they are.
Yeah. It said major carrier,
Yeah.
but they didn't have a Wikipedia page, so I don't
Uh-huh.
know.
All right.
So he got into real estate after that and then entered the hotel business. And so all of this is pretty normal, right? You
Yep.
call this like the classic American dream, which doesn't exist anymore. But you work
Right.
hard and then you rise above your social standing to become a successful businessman. Is what everybody wanted. It's
The
why people
boomer
came to
dream.
America.
Right.
It's why Five O went west.
That's right. Underrated.
And if that were the entire story, we would not be here talking about Bob Short today.
Yeah. I
See, when you
sometimes forget this is a basketball podcast.
don't worry, basketball is coming soon.
All right.
See, see, when you come from nothing, you don't really want to give it up. But here's the kicker: Short really liked sports. He wasn't good enough to play them himself, so he decided that he should buy a team.
Heck yeah. I love that.
Thankfully for him, the Minneapolis Lakers were looking to sell.
Interesting. Okay. How fun.
So the Lakers were, of course, one of the early great teams in the NBA/BAA, thanks to,
George Mikan, 6-time NBA champion.
there you go.
Five. I don't know.
I think it's 5. But Mikan had retired, and by 1957, the Lakers' attendance was plummeting. They were horrible. The owners were
Hmm.
losing money for several seasons. And so they said, we got to sell this team. Okay.
Sheesh. Yeah.
Short, he really wanted to buy a football or a baseball team, but he couldn't find anybody that was willing to sell their team at that point. So then some rumors started to fly around the local media that the Lakers might be sold to out of town interests.
Okay. Interesting.
So where do you think they're going to move the Lakers to if it had worked out? Just a guess.
Chicago.
Kansas City.
Okay. Wow. You know, I could imagine Kobe and Shaq in Kansas City.
I mean, there was a team in Kansas City for a while
Really?
that also now plays in Sacramento. No, wait. Now I'm trying to remember the lineage. If Cincinnati
Kansas City
Royals,
Kings?
Kansas City, Omaha Kings, yeah, and
Ugh.
then I think that's the Sacramento Kings, right? Because the Clippers were the San Diego Clippers.
Yeah,
They're the
that's
Buffalo
true.
Braves, San Diego Clippers, LA Clippers. So yeah, so the Kings did formerly play in Kansas City, Omaha.
And that's the Cincinnati Royals too?
It was, yeah.
Ugh. What a trip. Okay.
So turned the local business. Excuse me. Let me start again. I misread that. Short, the local boy turned successful businessman, couldn't have that. He said, "No, no, no. This
Yep.
is a Minneapolis
That's
team.
right. That's right.
I was born here. We're keeping this team in Minneapolis. They're not
I
ever
wish
leaving."
I wish more owners would do this. Sorry, I guess the Thunder would exist
You wouldn't
if,
have a team. What do you
but
mean?
I mean, after that,
So Short put together a group of 117 different parties to purchase the team for $150,000 with the promise that they'd keep the team in Minnesota. What are you
Ooh,
laughing about?
okay. Yep. Just $150,000
Oh,
being when the last team sold for like 6 billion.
yeah. Well, we'll see how much they get for it. So the team doesn't have a star. They're still struggling. The attendance is rough because no one's there. Short and his group had to immediately inject $50,000 into the franchise to keep it afloat. And also, the next year, Short went and bought, I think, like 80% of the team. So he bought it all out from people and kind of became the majority owner. And then Short, who was always looking to save a buck, I guess I messed up my timeline. This is during the first season. He was always looking to save a buck, so he started to shed contracts. He was like, "We don't have enough money to stay afloat. We need to get rid of all of our expensive players." So they sent a guy. They sent their best player, Walter Dukes, 7 foot tall big man. Obviously, in 1957, that's gonna be very important for your team.
Okay, yep.
Sent him to Detroit for basically nothing. And the big guy went on to average a double double over his 8 year career. And the
Fantastic.
Lakers finished their first season with Short in charge with the worst team in the league.
Nice.
Now there are only 8 teams then, so they might have
Okay.
even made. I don't think they made the playoffs that first year, but they probably were close because
Yeah,
that's not.
you're still in the play-in. That's fine.
Yeah, you're making the play. So the only thing working in their favor is that Minneapolis had the top pick. So any guesses who the top pick in the draft in 1958 is?
1958.
Yeah,
Um, no, Bill Russell.
I'll tell you, this guy spent his entire career with the Lakers, if that helps at all.
Jerry West.
A good guess, but Elgin Baylor
Oh
is
yeah,
up
yeah,
for
yeah, okay.
grabs.
Yeah, my bad.
Now, technically, he was only a junior, and this maybe is the only time, from what I've read, that Short actually spent some money because he convinced Elgin Baylor to skip his senior season by offering him a $22,000 check, which
Hey, that's a
is,
move
I
right
mean,
there.
that's what is that? A
Tampering?
sixth of how much he paid for the franchise.
Oh yeah.
So, so the young forward came from Seattle University and averaged 25 points, 15 boards, and 4 assists to win the Rookie of the Year. The Lakers, I believe they had the sixth best record that year, but made it to the NBA Finals in
Wow.
1959 in Elgin Baylor's rookie season. They got swept by Boston, but you could tell that Baylor was going to be special.
Yeah, dang. That's a
And that run,
turnaround.
and of course, that run brought in some more attendance, so it brought in just enough money to keep the team mostly in the black for that season.
Heck yeah.
Unfortunately, 1960 wasn't quite as successful, but it is where our story gets much more interesting
Okay.
because the Lakers that year had a somewhat hapless record of 25 and 50, and they were at an away game in St. Louis to play the Hawks. They lost that January 17th game 135 to 119. No, Baylor did drop 43 points in the loss, and they would go on to lose to the Hawks in the Western Conference Finals. So they weren't good, but they still, again, they only won
Yeah.
25 games, and they almost made the NBA. They lost in Game 7, so they
They really
almost
were
made
just
another.
coasting the regular season
Yeah,
so they could be a playoff team.
I guess so. The team had a home game against New York in 6 days, so they hopped into the plane to fly back home. Now, here's where it's important to remember that Short was, to put it nicely, incredibly frugal.
Okay.
This was technically a private plane, but don't think that they were flying in luxury. See, what had happened was that Short had purchased an old DC-3 prop plane
Mm.
because that meant the team did not have to pay for commercial flights.
Okay, yeah, sure.
But it also meant that the Lakers, their staff, some of their fans, several pilots were flying in a converted World War II era cargo hauler.
Who are the fans that get to be on the plane?
I
That's
don't know.
dope.
That's why I couldn't find any information about the fans, but multiple sources said there were fans with them on the on the
Like
plane
extra special season ticket
uh-huh.
holders. Yeah. Heck, oh, I wish I could.
So
Golly.
outside of Short, pretty much everyone that matters, including some fans, were on this plane,
And
right?
he's
Flying
not there.
back.
It's crazy that he's not there, but yeah.
So the Lakers took off at 8:30 p.m., which was 2 hours late because the flight had been hit with a delay due to weather.
Okay.
10 minutes into the flight, the power went out in the plane completely.
Okay. Sorry, that's not, shouldn't laugh about that. That sounds horrible, and I don't like where we're headed, but sheesh.
We were playing cards, and then the lights went out, and it got cold, Elgin Baylor said. And for a while, the pilot didn't say anything. And finally, everybody wanted to know what was going on. And he said the only thing that was working was the generator, not the instrument panel, nothing. They couldn't see anything.
Okay, great.
So the Lakers, they're in the air. Remember, everybody's there, the whole
The
team.
Lakers, yeah, it's so funny to say the Lakers are in this plane.
They can't see or do
Yep.
anything. They can't go back to St. Louis because the
Hmm.
radio doesn't work. So they have no way to contact the airport and tell them they're going to make an unscheduled landing.
Oof. Okay.
Instead, they have to continue flying forward back home right into a massive snowstorm.
Okay. But there, okay, so the plane works. It's just like the electronics aren't working.
Yeah, which is very important for, landing a plane.
Sure. Sure. I just thought you meant like I don't know why, but I thought like the engine wasn't working too.
Oh, no, no,
But
that's working. They're good there
okay.
to
Okay.
some degree. Okay,
I
so
would just
Slick
aim
Leonard,
for an ocean, I guess.
an ocean in the middle of the country from between St. Louis and Minneapolis. We're going to aim for an ocean.
Oh, in my head I was thinking Los Angeles. You could aim for the lake, Superior.
One of the Great Lakes. Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so Slick Leonard, who went on to become a great coach for the Pacers, recalled old Tommy Hawkins from Notre Dame. We were sitting there together and had a blanket above our heads. He said, Slick, do you think we're going to die? I said, nah, we're not going to die. And he said, the hair is standing straight up on the back of my neck.
Yeah. That's not a great place to be.
It was horrible. And
Most nightmare inducing thoughts,
yeah,
that's top, like up there for me,
well, and
if not the
and
number one.
obviously planes crash nowadays. I mean, maybe they crash more in the last couple of years than they have in a while, but they were crashing not all the time, but like this was a year after the American Pie people crashed and died,
Mm,
right? Like so, like people were crashing quite frequently in this era.
yeah.
So it wasn't, it'd be scary.
Yeesh.
So the pilots tried to get above the storm, but they couldn't get out of the snow. They even had to open the windows of the cockpit to brush off the snow from the windshield because the wipers weren't working.
That doesn't, can you do that? That doesn't seem like possible.
The plane is really old.
Okay. All right. I,
Pilot,
I thought if a window was open, you would got like sucked out of the plane.
I mean, I don't know how they weren't flying. They couldn't fly very high, so I don't know how fast they were going.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. Like, I didn't put it in here, but there were parts where they were like using the lights of a car, like headlights of a car, to see forward. They were flying so low.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yep.
So
Whatever you got to do.
Pilot Vern Ullman would occasionally stick his head out the window to get his bearings, which is how he caught frostbite on this flight.
Oh my God. Okay. Yep.
So after flying for 3 hours, they were running out of fuel, and Ullman noticed a cornfield. He decided that a crash landing into the corn stalks would be safer than anything else, so he flew around the town about 3 times to make sure he got his bearings, made sure he could kind of track where the telephone lines were so that they weren't going to crash into a telephone line and explode, and he guided the plane in. Now, the good news is that it wasn't just corn that softened the landing, because Slick Leonard said that once they landed and opened the door, the snow was up to their chests, and they started
Oh
throwing
my.
snowballs at each other as something of a release from all the anxiety. However, I will point out that Slick Leonard also, I think it was Slick Leonard, it might have been a different guy. I didn't actually write this part in there, but he said that like 75 feet away from them was this gigantic gorge leading into a river. And so they were very
Yeah.
close
Just,
to just crash landing into a gorge and dying.
yeah. How is this not a movie?
It's a good question.
This is the craziest story I've ever heard.
It's a good question. Still, they were stranded in the middle of Iowa. The good news is that a mortician soon drove up.
Okay, great.
The plane had actually buzzed his house, so he followed it out there to because he wanted to know what happened. Elgin
Mm.
Baylor reportedly quipped, "No business for you today."
I'm glad everyone had a good mood about it. I would
I
be
mean, what
pissed.
else could you do?
Also, the
Uh,
corn farmer, that sucks for
oh
him.
yeah, true. The Lakers and the pilots and the fans and everybody else piled into a few hearses and rode into town to spend the night at a senior retirement hotel where Slick Leonard, ever the storyteller, had yet another great one to tell. There was a small
Golly.
bar there that sat maybe 5 or 6 people, and some of the old retirees, they came out, the ladies had their nightgowns on, and they wanted to know what was going on. And old Larry Faust, he's dead now, he saw that liquor cabinet had a lock on it, He took a hold of that lock and just twisted that thing off and got himself a big glass and poured himself some VO and sat down.
Dang. This guy short needs to sell the team. That's ridiculous.
Well, just wait. We're not quite done yet.
All
Now, of
right.
course, it is like we were the reason I said that this could have changed basketball history is we were very close to losing an entire basketball team,
Yeah.
an entire professional basketball team. I don't know if the Lakers would have survived that. So that's pretty wild just in itself. But the story does not quite end there.
Okay.
The
I'm
Lakers,
scared.
nothing really bad happens. Don't worry.
Okay.
The Lakers took a few buses back to Minneapolis and lost their next game to New York 115 to 104. Now, Ullman did not take the buses back. Instead, Short sent out a repairman into the cornfield and repaired the ship and made Ullman fly it back home.
I don't like this guy. That's a nuts. This is giving Blazers players can't fly to the playoff game
Yeah,
vibes. Just ridiculous.
it's wild. A few days later, they had another road trip to Cincinnati, and Short told them they were going to take the plane again.
Bro. Yeah, no. I'm quitting. I
Slick,
retire.
well,
Thanks.
here you go. Slick told Short, "We're not getting on that, baby." But then Short said, "You either get on or you get out of a job." And as Slick put it, they got on that baby, and they even won the game. Then,
Nah, we're unionizing on the spot and we're getting out of there.
then they had to go back home to Minneapolis. They assured us everything was fine, Baylor said. So we fly to Cincinnati and we play and get back on the plane and we're flying back. And the late Jim Krebs, he was on one side of the plane and he was looking out and he said, "Hey, look, the airport." We were only like 400 or 500 feet up. We thought it was an emergency for a plane that was coming in or something like that. Fire trucks, you see the lights. It was for us. What had happened we had an oil leak and the engine had caught fire.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine this Bob Short guy just be like, "No, just keep getting on there. It's fine."
Dude.
And then your plane almost explodes.
I would at that point I'd just be like, get us a bus. I don't care. Doesn't need to be a flight, but
Oh, okay. So of course the short stuff doesn't end quite there. I want you to remember if you forgot that he very publicly, very forcefully said he was going to keep the team in Minneapolis forever. As long as it was his team, they would stay in Minneapolis.
yeah. This guy, I'm sure.
Later that year, despite his pledge, Short approached NBA owners about moving the team to Los Angeles.
Oh, he did it. It wasn't even he sold it. He just decided, let's
Hmm. He
what a
said, "Our attendance
loser.
isn't good enough. We need to move to Los Angeles."
This is probably my least favorite person.
They're like Donald Sterling
Sorry, yeah, that's fair. I mean,
or like Hitler.
with how old this guy is, of the people discussed in the NBA,
Okay.
how about that?
What about what's his? Oh, geez, I
The
just forgot.
Boston Strangler?
No, not him. He's NFL. No, I guess it's not NBA, but I was just reminded recently of Terry Rozier tweeting about the thing about Obama should have played hoops because he's so tall. Or not Obama, Osama bin Laden should have played hoops because he's so tall.
Good Lord.
So the league turned down his move with a 7-1 vote. Then the Harlem Globetrotters owner, we'll probably talk about this someday too, who had been promised an NBA franchise several years prior, was annoyed that the NBA wasn't holding up their end of the bargain, and he announced that he was forming the American Basketball League and was going to start one of his teams in LA. So later that afternoon, the NBA came back to the table, and Short's move to LA was approved 8-0 because they didn't want to lose the market.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
Now, of course, well, you would assume, right? This guy's like, you would think like, oh, this guy wants to move with the team. He's going to be a big deal in LA, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be great. Short didn't want to go to Los Angeles.
Okay.
He himself wanted to stay in Minneapolis.
What a loser.
So
Can't stand this guy.
he sent Lou Mose, which I might be pronouncing that incorrectly, but it's Mohs. So I'm going to guess Mose.
Okay.
He sent him as his general manager and he gave him three instructions. These are the three instructions Lumos said he got from Bob Short. One, go out there and don't let me hear from you.
Great.
Two, if you have any money left, send it back to me.
Hey,
Three, if you need any money, forget where you came from.
golly. What? I don't understand. I get that they love sports, but they clearly don't love him that much. Like
No, I
if
don't. I don't. It has to be like there's got to be something messed up in his brain where he's like, I have to, I want to own a sports team, but I also just have to make money because
right.
I was poor. I don't know. I don't understand us. as someone who like, if you gifted me, I don't know, how much, what's a 4% withdrawal rate? $2.5 million or something tomorrow.
Yeah,
You would never, I would just not work. I'd be done.
right.
I would
Yeah.
not be like, I need to make more money,
Yeah,
you
let
know?
me go buy a business so I can extrapolate it for as
Yeah.
much profit as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the team was run on such a shoestring budget that Mose had to borrow chairs, have his wife wash the jerseys, and let his children count tickets.
Okay, sure. God.
The good news for the Lakers is that Baylor was a major draw, and eventually the fans started to show up in massive numbers. It also didn't hurt that the Lakers were constantly in the mix as contenders. Now they lost every time, but they made it to the finals and played Boston in 62, 63, and 65.
Crazy.
So, at that point the team is winning, they're pretty popular, they have tons of fans, and Short says, "I'm going to cash out." So he sold the team that he
Good.
bought with a group, not by himself, for $150,000 to Jack Kent Cook for guess how much money?
$250,000.
Not even close.
Oh, a lot. Sorry.
5 point, oh,
5 million?
yeah,
Dang.
five
Good for
million
them.
one hundred and seventy-five thousand dollars.
Hmm.
And of
Okay.
course, ever the hard ass, Short made Cook pay entirely in cash.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, and if you thought the Lakers were done with that plane,
Oh,
you'd be
come
wrong.
on. Get out of here.
Short sold it after the second incident, but when the team moved to LA, they had to charter a plane to Chicago. Baylor said the plane looked, excuse me, it was a DC-3 prop plane, but
Hmm.
Baylor said it looked a little bit nicer, but seemed familiar. They asked the pilot, but he didn't know who had bought or who the guy bought it from. But the good news for them is that the owner was coming with them on the plane on the return trip. Baylor and the team asked him who he bought it from, and he said, quote, "I bought it from some son of a bitch named Bob Short."
Yeah, I'd be like, we're not doing this.
We gotta go. We gotta get out of here. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
After selling the team, Short tried his hand at politics, but was terrible at it. In 1969, he bought the Washington Senators, doing what he always did, promising to keep the team in town. We'd never leave. We'll never leave
Oh
Washington.
my gosh. How do these people not learn? Just don't say that. It's that easy.
I mean, it does. That's not even the most wild part about what's about to happen.
Okay.
He also put up an offer with a group of $9.4 million. Guess how much of that money was his?
Um, Zero.
A little bit more than that, but
5%.
$1,000.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And some of the partners he got them to borrow more than $1 million for the purchase from his trucking company at a
Yeah.
9.4% interest rate.
Yeah, good for him. I'm so happy that he made more money. Golly.
The team was, of course, awful, which is why he could buy it, but Short tried to charge the highest ticket prices in the league. In fact, you could drive 45 minutes and watch the powerhouse Baltimore Orioles play a home game for almost half the price of a ticket
Yeah.
some nights.
Not surprised.
He made a few bad trades, which were seemingly set up to make fans hate him and the team so that he could leave, and he did just that in 1972. Fans were rightfully pissed, and a massive mob stormed the field during the final home game in 1971. They,
Good.
they stole the bases, danced on the pitcher's mound, and the umps declared it a forfeit for the visiting Yankees, giving Washington its 96th loss on the season. Short moved the team to Texas, calling them the Texas Rangers.
Fun.
And the next year, the Senators and the Rangers, or excuse me, the Orioles and the Rangers played each other in Baltimore, and Washington fans bought tickets in droves, showed up with a Short effigy, and supposedly one fan poured a beer on Short's head during the game, and then that fan rode that into becoming like a superstar bartender in Washington for decades.
Okay.
But
I love it.
he like used it as to get his clout up. But then later when
Right.
people would ask him about it, he said, "Do you really think I'd waste a beer on that guy?" So I
Heck
don't know if
yeah.
he actually did it, but that's the story. So a few years later, I think it was 1974, Short sold the Rangers for $9.5 million. He then tried to take over a group that was buying the San Francisco Giants,
Oh my gosh.
but
Okay.
but they knew what he was doing and they quickly tossed him out.
Yeah, if
Nin-
I'm the like a commissioner of any league, keep
it's-
this guy away.
In 1978, Short ran for Senate out of Minnesota, but lost in a 61 to 34 split to David Durenberger.
Darn.
And that's partially because several Senator fans took out ad space against him. And
Congratulations.
it also didn't help that he was running as a Democrat, but most of his political stances were to the right of Durenberger, the Republican.
Okay.
And so a lot of like
Just trying to get
leftists
in.
said,
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah.
So he died a few years later in 1982 from lung cancer. And that is a story about how we almost lost the what would become the Los Angeles Lakers to one owner being way too cheap.
It's pretty crazy to have the Los Angeles Lakers and the Texas Rangers
Yeah,
both
it's
be uh moved from different places. Because I mean both of those have been there so long.
yeah,
I knew the Lakers were in Minneapolis, but I didn't know it was some loser owner that did it himself.
it's pretty. I mean, it's not great, but it's pretty. It's like it's a great story, but
Yeah.
it sucks. I'm sure for
Congrats for
thankfully,
this guy to come from nothing, I guess.
yeah, yeah, thankfully both cities have a team now in their
Yeah.
respective sport, right? So
Yeah.
his damage can only last for so long.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Okay,
Oh,
so
well.
that's this week's episode. We might be back with a longer one next week. I don't know. I try to do a shorter one this week because I know you're busy. I'm busy. But you got anything else you want to talk about? There's not. I mean, I guess there is a lot happening in the NBA right now with the LeBron stuff.
LeBron James, new
Dude,
best starting five in the league.
such a dumb move by him. So
I don't.
stupid.
I mean, I think they'll be really good, and I
I
think
don't. I disagree.
he fits.
Has Joel Embiid ever made it to the conference finals? I didn't think so.
I just don't understand. Like, I'm sure it's a combination of where you want to live and how much you want to win.
Mm,
So you don't want to do Oklahoma City, you don't want to do San Antonio because that's lame to live
bad
there.
golf. Yeah.
But just pick the Knicks. What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Like
I
if
think
you maybe it's like a ring chasing is worse if you go to the team that just won, but it's
that's what
not. I don't think.
somebody said that. I made a comment about it that was like, if you're gonna go ring chasing, just go to the best team, go to one of the best teams in the league. Just join the Thunder or the Spurs or. And someone was like, he can't go to New York because then he'd be viewed like Kevin Durant. And I'm like, if I'm LeBron James, I don't care what people think.
He's
If
also post Kevin Durant. Like Kevin Durant didn't have any championships
yeah,
before he did that.
true,
LeBron has four,
yeah.
so I don't think it's the same thing.
But I also, yeah, I agree. But even if it is the same thing, if you're announcing you're going, like he literally said, I want to go win a title. That's why
Yeah,
he's going there. If you're announcing that, and it doesn't really matter, right? Like that's another thing I said to this guy. So I was like, people are going to be mad at LeBron no matter what he does.
right.
It
Yeah,
doesn't matter what he does. He might as well just do the thing he wants. You know, if he wants to win a title, go sign a veterans minimum with OKC and just come off the bench. You know,
yeah,
like,
yeah. I really thought New York was the play. It's like the one place he's played that is, as big as him.
yeah,
Oh, sorry, that's not the Lakers.
yeah,
So I'm like, just go take over the city. That jersey would be like the number one selling jersey of
yeah,
all time.
yeah. That's true.
But I don't, hey,
I
Philly
don't
it
get it.
is.
I'm just glad he didn't go to Golden State. That was one I didn't want to see.
It would have been fun,
I
but
don't. Yeah, I just don't want Draymond to have any joy in his life.
that's fair. He's
If
about
I
to
could,
get paid a lot more money, I think.
Draymond.
Yeah, because he didn't have to make room for LeBron anymore.
Oh well, I I can't stand that guy.
Yeah.
Can't stand him so much. And the problem is, I'm going to be stuck with him for the next like 30 years.
Yeah, they keep putting him on TNT. I don't know what
He's
that's
bad at
about.
it, but they're gonna keep him up there because it's just like I mean, it's like ESPN recently clearing out a lot of their good, like actual good people. They just want people who can make people mad, so then they get like engagement. Like that's the only thing
Hmm.
that works on the internet right now. So that's why Draymond's gonna be there. Is because I hate him. That's why Draymond will be there.
Right. Yeah, because you feel something about him.
Yeah. I mean, I
Boo.
don't. I mean, I do, but also I just turn it off. So
Yeah.
it's not working for them, for me at least. Like when Kendrick Perkins is on there, I just change the channel.
Perk.
I'm not watching this halftime highlight. But yeah, I think this
Yeah.
NBA season is going to be interesting. I think that I don't know if the Thunder are going to be as good. That's what I'm worried about for y'all.
Okay. You think that getting back their second best player will make them worse?
I think they no, but I do think they're not gonna. So I think my problem is that you're making these faces. I don't like it.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
they'll be so much better next year.
than they
Like
were this year.
a lot better, yeah.
Okay, I think they could. I think they might be more likely to win a title, but I think that they're relying on, and they've proved they could do it. So maybe I'm wrong, but I think they're
Yeah.
relying a lot on their young guys stepping up yet again to make
Mm,
give them depth. What they're not saying they can't do. I'm just saying like you got rid of like Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins. You got to let rid of like proven guys
yeah.
that can do it, and now
Yeah.
you're like, oh, now we have to rely on what's his name, Mara.
Ade Mara? I thought
Yeah,
it's
Ade. Yeah, it's Mara.
uh
Mara's the last name. I couldn't remember his first name.
sure.
And you
Yeah,
have and Thomas Sorber and I always and I know it's rude, so I don't say it, but I always want to call Is it Topich? Yeah, Topich. I always want to call him
yeah.
old one nut, but I don't say that. I mean, I did just now, but I try to stop myself
I'll,
every. That's
I'll
the first.
do
That's the
I'll
first
do
thing I
two
think of.
arguments quickly.
Huh?
One, who's the big guy that they were counting on last year that they won't have this year?
I didn't say a big guy. What do you mean?
You just said Ade Mara, like he might work into the rotation, and Sorber, those are big guys. They're just adding. Like they needed big guys last year.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they're gonna have to play the minutes that Wiggins and Joe
Yeah.
played.
My challenge to anybody that thinks that would be go look at like Wiggins, Joe, and Dort were all much better players the year the Thunder won the title than last year. They all played a lot less. They all had a lot worse efficiency. And I
Yeah,
don't know, Jared McCain came in. Um,
I do like McCain a lot.
AJ
Yeah,
Mitchell stepped up. So I think a lot of it was just they fell out of the rotation naturally,
yeah.
and that's not fair to them. Like they probably would have played better if they were more a part of the rotation, but I'm I'm not really worried about it. I don't I think the rookies are still not going to play hardly at all. You're going to see a lot more AJ Mitchell, a lot more Cason Wallace, a lot more Jared McCain, and all those guys proved to be effective contributors in the playoffs last year. So yeah, I think we'll be better.
Let's hope so. I
I
need
think
to.
Cason Wallace was better than Lou Dort last year, and now
I
you're
agree.
going to have a full season of him starting in that
Yeah,
spot.
I don't like Lou Dort, so I agree with that.
But yeah, I don't.
I'm not a Lou Dort fan.
I think adding Jalen Williams, who, and I'm not saying you, I'm just saying the collective has forgotten that he's like a top 18 player in the
Top
NBA.
wasn't he top
He was,
15
yeah,
a
he
few years ago,
made
right?
all NBA, yeah. But man, I think they're going to be the best record in the West again.
Hmm.
And
I don't think they'll go for the best record. I don't think they'll care. Do you think they'll care?
um, they seem to.
Okay.
They didn't need to last year, and they just played Shea
Well,
78
evidently
games.
they did need to because they didn't win a title. So,
That's fair. Um, you wouldn't have said that they needed to at any point during the season. You would have
yeah,
been like, as long as they're top four, they'd be fine. But
yeah. I don't know. I think they won't be as good in the regular season because they have less depth, but I think they might be better in the playoffs, assuming they're healthy.
yeah,
But also, like
that's fair.
I think it's very worrisome. And this is why I really thought, like, if I were LeBron, that's the perfect team for me to join because to me, it's very worrisome that they only really have two guys that can handle the ball super effectively
Mm,
that I've seen. I mean, maybe like Ajay Mitchell or Jared McCain will take a step and become better. But like, if they can't have either one of SGA or Jalen Williams, one of those goes down, then they lose all those minutes. So that's why, like, if LeBron's there, LeBron is like one of the best. I
yeah,
mean, he's 6'8", but he's makes really good decisions. So he would be a perfect like guy to come in and play those minutes. But at the same time, I don't think. I mean, I'm not surprised he didn't sign with him, but I just think it would have been a really good move for him if that was all he cared about was winning a title.
I do agree that both Oklahoma City and San Antonio were like perfect fits
Yeah,
because you've got a lot of young guns that can take the minutes. Like you don't have to play, 38 minutes a game, even in the playoffs. We just
yeah,
need like the 30 minutes of LeBron that
yeah.
you have to have.
And
But
even I think San Antonio might be a better fit because I mean, who's there for?
Vassell
I mean, but
or Harris,
who's there for? Because like neither of those guys are. I'm not
I don't
counting
know if
either
it
of
was
them.
real, but at one point I did see after they signed Tobias Harris that they were like, we don't need LeBron. And I was like, huh,
Yeah, Tobias Harris is the same as LeBron, even at
right.
40, whatever how old he is, but it's wild. But yeah, I don't know. I just think I think I get worried. I think the Thunder are definitely the deepest team and the best team, but also maybe have the least ball handling of any of the top
Hmm.
contenders. And I do worry about that, especially against like the Spurs, who are just gonna. I mean, they also have a really good defense too. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not, I mean, obviously we lost to them, so I somewhat worried, but I think if everyone stays healthy, I feel pretty good about the Thunder repeating. And I feel
repeat
pretty good about
repeating
Philly.
repeating is
Like
what?
like repeating their run deep into the playoffs.
Oh yeah,
I mean, they were one game away from the finals,
yeah,
even with their two of their five best players missing.
yes,
So
yeah.
I think they'll get their minimum.
Hope so.
And I also believe in
I
the
don't feel good at
Sixers.
Philly. I don't feel good about
Oh,
Philly.
I think it's great.
I don't. I don't think so. You're relying on two. I mean, we've seen this so many times, and maybe I'm just like too in the weeds of like I don't want these old injury prone guys because you never know when they're going to go down. But like
Yeah.
the Clippers have been running this lineup for like what 5 years? Not this lineup, but relying. I mean, they do have Maxi, they have Edgecombe, so it's a little different. But they have
That's what
like
I'm saying. Even if you take Embiid off the floor, like let's say you put that as that starting four with, you know, well, Dwight Howard apparently wants to go play for him. I was gonna say Steven Adams, but
Dwight Howard.
they're still dang good. So
I don't know because I mean, if you lose both of them, LeBron and Embiid, and
yeah.
then you're relying on. I mean, I don't rate Jaylen Brown very highly. I don't. I think he's
Oh,
like
you're
a
one of
good player.
the
I'm one of.
executives that thinks he's eighth best.
Yeah, I don't think I eighth best in the league.
No, on his team. Someone
Oh
said
no, but I mean,
like the Celtics, they had
he
him
is
pegged
like
as like
he's incredibly inefficient. I don't trust him very much as a player. And like I don't know. It's a lot of guys that need the ball too, which
yeah.
I'm always concerned by.
Yeah. I
But
don't know.
we'll see. I don't trust it. And like I haven't. I guess it's also hard right now because the lineups aren't really not lineups, but rosters aren't really set. So like I go in there and I'm like, does this guy even play here anymore?
Hmm.
Have they signed a new guy
Fair.
yet? I got to see the whole lineup first too. That's the other problem. So I need to wait for like rosters to be solidified more
I think the Knicks
because
should still be the favorite
to win a title.
in the East. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
To come out of the East. I think the Pacers are going to return to form in a big way, like easily top four in the
With
East.
Zubac,
Yeah.
I don't like Zubac.
And
I don't
then
trust those Europeans. You know what I mean?
I think it's Philly after that.
Let's see. Let me
I don't
think.
have a ton of faith of anyone else in the East.
The Heat could be good. I don't think they'll be title winning good, but they could be good if Giannis is healthy.
Celtics will still be competitive for
That would have
sure.
been so much fun to see Giannis and LeBron play together.
No, I don't think.
I mean, it would be bad, but it would be fun.
Yeah, and Bam, the paint would be, it'd just be the three of them standing at different points in the
It'd
paint.
be amazing.
Golly.
I mean, I think the I think Cleveland will still be good. And I mean, they got to jettison Harden, but I like the rest of their team.
Well, I don't think they're going to jettison Harden, so.
Man, I've never seen like the basketball embodiment of like taking old Yeller behind the shed and shooting it in the head. And that's what this Celtic or the Knicks did to James Harden in that final series. That game one when they were up by like 30 points and then Brunson just switched on the Harden every single time
Yeah.
and just backed him down.
Yeah, those highlights were crazy.
I was like, "Oh no, Mr.
Yeah.
Harden, I don't feel so good."
Brutal.
All right, let's go ahead and get out of here because I got a bunch to do. I'm sure
All
you
right.
have baby rearing to do.
Yeah, my alarm keeps going off for
Okay. So we will see you all later. Goodbye.
peace.